Hey everyone, my name is Rodney and I'm just big boned, and this is day 193 of my weight loss journey, and today I'm answering another viewer question. Today's question comes from Risa Beesa. Hopefully I've pronounced that right. And Risa has asked, what is lockdown like here for us? It's a great question because I know there's a lot of you who are watching from other countries and other areas than Sydney, Australia. And yeah, things are done differently in different parts of the world. So I want to give you a bit of an insight on what it's like here for me. As you know, I'm in a lockdown. My area's in a COVID lockdown, and this is about week 8 or so of this lockdown, and it doesn't look like it's ending anytime soon. With lockdown or what they call stay-at-home orders, so we can only leave the house legally for 4 reasons. One is to buy groceries and essential food items. 2 is for exercise. 3 is for medical reasons, including getting vaccinated. And the other one is for work and study that can't be done at home. So there's a lot of people who are doing jobs that can't do remotely. Thankfully, I'm one of those people that can work from home, and that means I don't have to stop working. I can continue working, which is really good. The way Sydney is created, we're broken up into lots of different areas, what they call local government areas or LGAs, and some LGAs have a higher infection rate of COVID than others. So there's about 9 of those at the moment, and these are called hotspots, and they have slightly different rules to the rest of us. Thankfully, I don't live in one of those areas, but my office is in one of those areas, so I can't travel into the office or anything like that. Right now, I need a document that's in my office. I need it scanned and sent to me. I can't go and do that because because I can't go down to the office. So yeah, so with what we're able to do in my area, the only times I leave the house is to go for my daily walks and to go shopping. That's pretty much it. I can't go see clients. I can't go see family. I can't go see friends. I can't, do my weekly board game group. We can't go to other people's houses. If I am going for a walk or exercise, I can have one other person with me that's not from my household group. So I can meet up with one friend who's nearby, if any, and we can go for a walk. We have to, keep the 1.5 meters distance. Right now where I am, anytime I leave the house, I have to have a mask. At the moment, I don't have to wear it outside. Some of the hotspot areas, they have to wear a mask when they leave the house. Even if they're going for a walk, they still have to wear a mask. I don't have to do that. I just have to carry it with me. So I've always got one of these things in my pocket these days. Obviously, whenever I go to the shops or the supermarket, I have to wear a mask. I also have to check in with a QR code system with the government. So that way they can trace where I've been. So if I go up to my local supermarket and someone who was there at the same time as me tests positive for COVID, they can send me a message that someone who was here at the same time as you has tested positive. You need to go and get a test, which is fair enough, the contact tracing. And that's pretty much my life. I haven't traveled more than 2 kilometers from my house for a couple of months now. Benefit is I haven't had to fill up with petrol that entire time. As some of you know, I have been struggling a bit with that. I'm doing better this week as I was last week, but still it's not fantastic. And it's just a bummer not being able to do certain things. So for instance, today is my wedding anniversary, and I can't, go out to dinner or do anything like that to celebrate. So what should be a nice special day, it's just turned into just another day, which is, obviously I'll try and make it special somehow, but there's only so much we can do. For the most part, from what I observe, a lot of people do seem to be sticking to those restrictions. Obviously, you'll hear in the media about people who don't, and there's people who don't. Obviously, there will always be people who don't stick to the restrictions. And every day, the new numbers are released of how many local transmissions of COVID there are in the community. Yesterday it was like 452 locally acquired transmissions. So that's obviously really concerning for everyone. And those numbers have sort of gone up and sort of sticking around that point for now anyway. They're not dropping. The big message is everyone needs to go get vaccinated. And I think at the moment, New South Wales, my state, is probably, I heard about 60% vaccinated or something. When we get to 70% vaccinated and obviously 80% vaccinated, they can start to release some of these restrictions and start giving a little bit more freedom. Which I'm, crossing my fingers for. I have been vaccinated and everything was fine. So now I just need to wait it out and wait to that time when some of these restrictions can be eased, because they will be eased. The streets are a lot quieter. Where I do my walk is actually one of the main freeways leading into the city of Sydney, and that is usually packed with traffic. There's still cars there, it's still a lot of traffic, but it's nowhere near as much traffic as it used to be. Obviously too, the park I sometimes go to walk around, there's nowhere near as many people there as there used to be. Walking down the street, you see lines of people outside of coffee shops as they're allowed to, as they're waiting for takeaway, as we can do in the restrictions. And all those people, because they're close with people, they've got to wear masks. So it's a lot of monotony. It feels a lot like Groundhog Day, and sometimes I have to remind myself, wait, what's today? Because it just feels like the same day, one after another. And there's a lot of frustration. There's a lot of anger in the community, as there would be. But it's getting sort of thrown at different people. Some people are angry at other people for not sticking to restrictions. Some people are angry at the government for not locking down harder and tighter sooner. Some people are angry at the government for even putting in lockdown restrictions. Some people are angry at the federal government for not closing down airports completely. This is one of the times I'm grateful I don't work in politics, because the amount of scrutiny they're getting is just amazing at the moment. So I'm glad I'm not in that boat, having to make these decisions and justify these actions. So this is what lockdown is like, for me anyway. I know other people are doing it tougher. There's people there whose work has dropped significantly, the hours. There's some people who can't work at all. My sister is one of those people. She's a hairdresser, and all salons are completely closed. She cannot work and has not worked in like 2 months. Yes, there is financial government support, but as she says, that is just only covering her rent and food. That doesn't cover anything else. My nephew and my brother work in construction, and so a couple of weeks back they were on a 2-week can't work. They've now gone back to work, but I think starting from next week they can only go to work if they've had a vaccination. And my nephew is actually 17 years old, so he's actually not legally at an age where he can go get an AstraZeneca vaccination, and Pfizer vaccinations are in low supply, and he's just not at a high enough priority to be given one. So we don't know if he'll be able to go back to work next week and work until he turns 18 and gets these shots. Thankfully in September he turns 18, but still that's a number of weeks without it. So this is what it's like. I'm definitely not enjoying this time, but I'm look to the future where I know this won't last. We're not going to be 10 years down the track and still going into these lockdowns. This is a time that will pass. Whether it passes when people get vaccinated, I don't know, and I'm not going to comment on vaccinations, or I'm not going to comment on COVID, or whether it's conspiracy, or I just don't do that. Basically, I'm just following the restrictions so I don't get in trouble, so I don't get fined, because I'm not giving the government any money. And I'm just waiting to a time when I can go back to some sort of normality with life and get out and do stuff. Anyway, thank you so much for that question. If you have any questions you want to ask me, it doesn't have to be about my weight loss journey. As we've seen today, it can be about anything. So please leave them in the comment section below. I would love to answer them for a future viewer questions video. If you haven't already, please hit subscribe and follow me on my journey. We are close to 200 people subscribing and following me. When we do, I'm doing another giveaway. So please be part of that. Please help me get there. Please help the channel grow. Hit subscribe and hit the like button. That's it from me today. Thank you so much for watching. And just remember, I'm not fat. I'm just big boned.